You've seen quite a few lambdas working. And I kind of cheated when I asked and answered, what's a lambda? Because although I told you what it was, a way to represent an operation or some functionality in an object, I didn't really explain how it's done. You see, the compiler generates for you something called an anonymous function object. A function object is an object that has certain capabilities. Normally, you would write these by hand. So you would, for example, override the round bracket operator. That's the function call operator to actually perform a particular operation or calculation when people call the lambda or call the function object. The compiler generates this override for you. If you say that your lambda takes round brackets int n round brackets, then the operator round bracket that is written for you by the compiler, its parameters are int n, or whatever other parameters it was that you said the lambda took. When you use that arrow syntax to say that you return an int or you return a double or whatever it is that you return, the compiler generates that to be the return type of the override of the round bracket operator. But there's more to it than that. The anonymous function object that's generated for you by the compiler has member variables. And these member variables hold all of the values that are used inside the body of the lambda. Now, so far, the bodies of the lambdas I've shown you haven't used anything other than the parameter, n in most cases, that it was passed. But the lambda has access to information from the calling scope, and that information is put into member variables of this anonymous function object that's being generated for you. Now, an anonymous function object is an instance of a class, and it has member variables that hold values. And you can keep that instance in a variable, as well as what we've been doing, which is just passing that variable immediately to a function, such as the standard for each, that turns around and uses it. So in order to fully get all of how you use lambdas, you have to understand how to control those member variables, how to set up what the member variables of the lambda will be, and you can even do things like changing them from their default, which is const, to something that can be changed within the body of the lambda.